So I want to introduce you to this concept called pivot or persevere. So this is very important, whether it could be from deciding should you move forward on an offer. So let's say high ticket closer, when should you move away or when should you persevere and actually just keep trying. And so I believe this is one of the most important fundamentals in business, in life, or anything, right? Is should you actually just move forward? If you're talking to a girl, just sapping your energy, should you move forward or should you persevere? Is it worth your time? And it's just very holistic view on things, and it's one of the most important things that you must understand in business. So practically what pivot or persevere is we're practically just doing decision making. Decision making is one of the most important part of business. So I have a rule of thumb on this. I always say if it's not a clear yes, it's a clear no. So this will give you a good guidelines and indicator if should you persevere or should you pivot. So let's say if you feel like I'm not doing well here, but maybe should I leave or not? So it's not a clear yes if you should leave or not. So probably you're just being a bitch. So just keep doing it, and it's a clear yes that you should probably just persevere. Or the other way around is like, man, should I stay? Should I actually just keep doing this? Should I do it? So it's not a clear yes. So it's a clear no. So you should probably just pivot and move forward and let go of that business or whatever that you're doing currently. So again, persevere. I want to introduce you guys on. I'm gonna give you guys some examples on what I've done personally on certain scenarios, real life scenarios on when I had to persevere, or when should I actually just pivot, right? So persevere and pivot. So let's talk about persevere first. So persevering. So our example I would give you guys is beginning of last year. I started a marketing agency, right? So actually, let's do pivot first. Let's do pivot first. So beginning of earlier last year, late 2021, I started my marketing agency, EPM Media, and it was insanely hard. So I had to learn about a lot of things. And at first, I was doing this. This is what I'm doing: persevere, persevere, persevere. But during that time, the biggest lesson I've learned is you need to move fast. Like I always tell you guys, you need to move fast so you can get the result. So I knew for the fact that there was a moment that I need to persevere. So also give things some time. So let's say 3 to 6 months is kind of like the baseline. I always give things, and if it's not working out, then I just pivot. 3 to 6 months is like the baseline I would give it, right? But let's say like you also want to move fast. There's that caveat between you want to move fast and let go of things quickly. It's always dependent to as well on certain scenarios. But again, that's why I have this clear guideline or just this baseline that I always follow. If it's not a clear yes, it's a clear no. I hope you guys are understanding where I'm going from this. So I pivoted my marketing agency mid-year last year of 2022, and I just got into high ticket closing. The reason because of that is because at that moment I knew I had to move. So it was a clear yes, I needed to move forward, but I didn't know what to do. And I found out about high ticket closing, so I pivoted in high ticket closing. It was insanely quick. Like the decision making was quick. So it's also like the timeline that you make the decision, right? So if you feel like you need to make a decision, don't delay the action or the decision, because you need to pivot quick if you're gonna do it. Because if you dilly-dally, you can't know if it's the right decision as well. So make sure you're quick with your decisions, and that's one of the most important keys and aspect of successful people, high performing people, is they move fast and they actually just keep going, right? Persevere is a tricky one. So this is one thing I'm still working on as well, but it's very important to know when to persevere as well. So a good example I would give you guys is when you just feel like you're tired, or you feel like, oh man, I'm not getting any results, but you've only been doing it for 1 week, and let's say your volume is not to par, where you could be like, okay, you posted 100 videos and you're only getting a couple thousand views, okay, we need to actually change something on your strategy, like pivot, right? So again, pivot when you feel like there are times when nothing is working, so you need to pivot and change the strategy. Sometimes you're still persevering, so let's say in a macro perspective you're persevering, but you're just pivoting the strategy or the vehicle. So persevering could be in macro perspective, right? So I hope that makes sense. So persevere when there are things that you just feel like it's an emotional decision. If it's an emotional decision, you probably just persevere it. Because most of the time, you must always just stay in a level headed. Don't make decisions harshly. Make decisions, logically, business wise, right? So pivot and don't waste a lot of time on one thing because that's going to lead you to just more problems, more headaches, and it will just zap your energy and you're gonna miss in a lot of things. So I have most of the time I actually pivot in strategies or I move fast, but an overarching goal is you must always persevere and never quit. So that's the main thing here. Again, if it's not a clear yes, it's a clear no. This is practically just decision making. Your guts, trust your guts, trust your intuition, and fully express that. And one of the things that I always do is there are two main things I do. I journal and I pray. So whoever you believe in, pray like to guide you to the right directions where you want to go, or journal as well, psychoanalyze what's the best decision for me right now. Not what I want to do, but what do I need to do right now, right? So again, this is one of the most important fundamentals in business, pivot or persevere. Again, I hope you guys found something valuable in this and you guys got an understanding on when should you move forward or should you actually just keep moving on. But yes, I hope you guys found something valuable in this video. Again, be a creator, not a consumer. Create something today that will inspire you and others. Peace.